Don't force me into a high five with you.
Too late, I already
Don't
did.
force me into a high
Thanks for
five
the
with
high
you.
five, Anthony. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It is too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And oh my stars and garters, what a show we have for you today.
It's a whole new week with whole new news.
It's a whole new week news. We've got stuff about the Cannes movie, the film festival, the classy film festival.
Yeah.
We've got some stuff about Disney employees. We got some stuff about Google AI.
Yeah. We've got shocking, horrifying news about Bluey.
Bluey let us all down.
Beloved children's entertainer, Bluey.
Beloved children's entertainer, now criminal, Bluey.
Yeah.
We knew it was gonna happen.
We'll get into all the charges later.
It's the brightest stars that fall the farthest.
Yeah. Hey, for the people who don't watch to the end of the show, it's going to be okay. It's a long show. I get it.
Bluey died.
No! It's okay. This show is not for children. Hi. If you watch It's Too Early with your children, you shouldn't.
But if you do, put them right up to the screen right now while I say, Bluey died.
I guess if you're really tired of, as a parent, watching Bluey, which I've heard is parents' favorite.
Yeah,
I've heard no one is. Parents
no
love Bluey.
No one's tired of Bluey.
But you know what I mean? When there is a thing that your kid fixates on and it's like, we got to find a way to get them off this thing.
Yeah.
You just put them up to a show like ours and we'll be like, sorry, they died.
Yeah. My parents would do that all the time.
Yeah.
They would be like, your grandma's in the hospital and Mickey Mouse did it.
Yeah.
Like.
Normal.
Yeah. And I'd be like, oh no.
Wow.
Really? This is just like a month ago when Grandpa was in the hospital and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did it.
And that's why we can't go to Disney World.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. Hey, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
If you are joining us on the YouTube rewatch later, why don't you little subscribe? Why don't you hang out?
Why don't you maybe like the video?
Why don't you like a video?
That'd be neat. And hey, if you enjoy these videos, you're not here for the first time. And maybe even if you are, if you're really into commitment, go to patreon.com/pixelcircus. You can sign up to support our channel, help us keep making the show, and get bonus clips. Even more, It's Too Early.
Yeah.
Just like our Pixel Plus members, S and V Squared did. Thank you so much. Very cool of you.
Yeah. Saige.
Yeah, what up?
We have to talk about the activity that we partook in last night.
Last night was wild. We went to the staged reading of Star Wars Episode 1.
Yes.
For the anniversary of Star Wars Episode 1.
This was put on by the Star Wars Minute podcast over at the Dynasty Typewriter, and it was amazing. It was called The Naboo Movie.
Yeah.
A staged reading of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and the cast was unbelievable. Can we just lead off?
Yeah.
With Haley Joel Osment coming to play Anakin.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
Running in midstream. Because it was also being streamed out.
Then also we had Tony Hale.
Yeah.
From Arrested Development.
Yeah.
As Qui-Gon Jinn.
Or
Qui-Jonathan.
Qui-Gon Gen, which was 100% serious and was not a joke.
Yeah, it was very good. Who else? Bobby Moynihan was there playing Darth Maul and Yoda.
Yeah.
We had, Penn Healy Art in the live studio audience saying Vic was there, right? Yes, the host of Very Important People.
Yeah.
If you ever watched that, she was playing Obi-Wan.
And was incredible.
Vic and Tony Hale played the Jedi as the smarmiest, most condescending people.
And specifically, Vic as Obi-Wan gave such cunty Obi-Wan.
She was constantly twirling her rat tail and being angry.
Here's the thing. She's reading the words on the paper. Obi-Wan has a good bit of sass in that movie and killed it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It was amazing. And then Tony had the two of them, whenever they did like a smarmy Jedi line, they would look at each other and be like, the number of people that genuinely did not know how to pronounce things
is so funny.
It was so fun. And I thought
half this cast has never seen this movie.
Yeah, or they saw it literally back in the day as children and never watched it again. Tony Hale, I thought, was doing a bit because he was mispronouncing every planet, but he was doing it like Coruscant, or like
It was Coruscant over and over and over again.
Or
There was a new
Ma-
pronunciation every time.
Tatooine.
Yeah.
And like would just keep doing it. And we thought that he was doing a bit. And then at one point,
Haley Joel Osment says it right.
Haley Joel Osment goes, Coruscant. And Tony Hale goes, really shit. And everybody starts cracking
And that's
up.
when you realize that it wasn't a bit. And the one that absolutely wasn't a bit as well was not Qui-Gon Jinn, but Qui-Gon Gen. It was Qui-Gon Gen, I think.
Qui-Gon Gen.
It was a genuine attempt at it.
It was Diana Lee Inosanto, who of course plays Morgan Elsbeth,
Who is in 3 Star Wars properties.
but not with Qui-Gon Jinn.
No, sure. No, sure.
That's not even her era.
No.
And I always tell people this when Star Wars actors don't know something about Star Wars. I'm like, you're good, dog.
Yeah.
These are good actors. They care.
Totally
don't
fine.
worry.
I am shocked by it. I'm shocked because it's Qui-Gon. If it was like,
Yeah.
look, there's a lot of characters that you barely even hear their name in these movies, you know? There's a ton of characters that are like not significant in the greater canon of Star Wars.
People had to say Kai-Adi-Mundi last night. And
exactly.
Kai-Adi-Mundi's name is never said out loud.
Yeah. If you don't know Kai-Adi-Mundi, I'm like, sure enough.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon. And she literally mutters under her breath at one point, she's like, oh God, don't let this get back to Filoni. Like, it was so funny. Tawny Newsome and Christina Ariel, friend of the show.
Woo.
Tawny Newsome and Christina Ariel played Queen Amidala and whichever the handmaiden is that switches with her. Keira Knightley.
Sabe.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
there
always
we go.
forget. I always get the names.
Well, it's because they also, for most of the movie, refer to her as Padme.
Yeah.
And they just switch back and forth between Amidala and Padme.
I know, but I'm just
her
going
name
to
is
put
Sabe.
out there an apology to E.K. Johnston for not knowing that. But
I
like,
got you.
they were playing Amidala and Sabe and swapping off, and it was very funny. And Tawny Newsome played Padme for the majority.
Yeah.
She was the true queen.
Yeah.
And her back and forth with Haley Joel Osment as Anakin,
So funny.
because she played it the way it should have been played.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, kid.
You're kind of a weird little boy.
Yeah.
And
Where he's just like, he just runs up to her. He's like, I don't know. I'm a pilot. I'm pretty fast.
And she's
like,
yeah, okay.
okay, yeah.
Good for you.
I'll miss you, bud.
She gives him a lot of thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's really great. Anyways, not to recount the entire
No.
thing of it all, but we had a great time.
It was very, very fun.
Mhm.
I loved it because I had no idea what the tone of it was going to be.
No, me either.
I was just like, I know they're getting a lot of comedy people.
Yeah.
What are they like? How are they going to do this? And the answer was, fuck it, completely bonkers.
Yeah.
Bobby Moynihan did a Batman voice the whole night.
Yeah, he did. It was great.
The people who did the Nemoidians, instead of doing the accent,
Yeah.
decided to make them all Dukes of Hazzard villains,
Yeah.
Southern Dukes of Hazzard villains.
Great.
Just perfect.
Fabulous.
I believe the Dynasty Typewriter has that live stream up archived. You can still watch it.
I don't know, because you had to buy tickets to the live stream. I don't know what it's going to be after
They usually do for like a
Yeah.
month afterwards. I don't know if
Okay.
they're doing it with this one, but you can usually
Yeah.
get a live stream ticket and rewatch it. If they have that up,
Mhm.
definitely go watch it. It's 100% worth it.
It was very, very fun. We had a lovely, lovely time. The cast was amazing. And that movie is so long.
It was they literally at the end. Tawny goes, "Okay, this is fun."
But it's 11 o'clock on a Sunday and we have to wrap this up. She's like, I'm having a great time. I love the lightsaber battle, but we got to go home.
Because Tony Hale and Vic and Bobby were getting extremely into the lightsaber.
It was
fight.
really funny.
Yeah, but somebody had to stop it.
Fair enough.
During the pod race, it was like the last line you hear is Qui-Gon going like, I've got a good feeling about the boys going to win the race, and then they go, and he does.
Because like, what are you going to narrate the whole thing? They did that with the battle too. But even then, it's still such a long movie. And
Yeah.
I've seen it twice this month.
Yeah.
Because I also went to the theater re-release for episode 1.
Did you go to the 4DX?
No. So I looked for 40X. I was Googling in the LA area. This is me Googling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have it at the North Hollywood.
Yeah, well, I was misled.
Oh no.
I was misled.
I was talking to Xander.
I know he got to see it in 4DX. I'm very upset about it.
I'm very jealous I didn't get to
it.
see it in 4DX.
I missed it. I saw it in fucking normal X, in normal Ds.
One D's nuts.
Yeah. Unfortunate. I looked and the internet said no.
Yeah, I think it was in and out pretty quickly.
I looked on the day because I went on May the 4th.
Name of your sex tape? I don't know, man.
Go back to bed.
I would love to. Hot Phantom Menaces.
You've dropped a D's nuts and a name of your sex tape?
Yeah.
Hey, man. It's 9 a.m.
Yeah.
In 2024.
Yeah.
That's the important part of this. That's the important modifier.
Shit, is it 2024 already?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I thought you might think it was 2014.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I have taken quite a few blows to the head recently.
Yeah.
Name of my sex tape.
Anyways, everybody, let's get into things that aren't this. Let's start. Let's talk about, you want to talk about the big news? You want to talk about the big news for the title?
Light whip.
Okay.
That's the big news.
Well, I said from the title, but you skipped that part.
Oh. Yeah, let's talk about the stuff from the title.
All right. Listen, everybody. I know you all love Bluey. And I have only seen clips of Bluey. I've never watched Bluey.
Mm-hmm.
I know that my little nephew loves Bluey.
Bluey's great.
Parents love Bluey. I see adults without children posting how much they love Bluey.
I finally watched an episode of Bluey.
Yeah.
Because,
you get it?
because I had to.
Yeah. Try to understand it.
Yeah, I had to wrap my head around this. It's very good.
Okay.
It is. It's very good. Everybody who loves it is correct to love it.
That's great. I love that. So then when it comes to something like a experience in real life where kids could get the opportunity to meet Bluey, I bet a lot of parents would be like so stoked about that.
I had, you can do it right now at Disneyland. They do have the Bluey characters.
Really?
And you can go, it's apparently, it's a very long line or whatever, but
yeah, I would think so.
I saw a picture of my friend and his kid with the Bluey characters. So yeah, I would imagine that's going to be a great thing. And it's a Disney property, so you can be sure that like when they do meet Bluey, it's going to be like a very good, I can't imagine that there would be a Bluey event or a Bluey experience that wouldn't be under the tight grasp of the Disney Corporation.
Listen, what happens in Las Vegas simply
Bluey
ends up on Reddit. Dirt Dog Las Vegas, the diner and bar, hosted a Bluey experience.
Oh, fun.
And maybe they shouldn't have.
Oh, no.
Maybe it's worth considering that they were not the people to host a Bluey experience.
What makes you say that?
But honestly, who could really say?
I'm sorry, what's going on the right?
Yeah, well, that's a man in a Bluey hoodie?
No, it's not.
Onesie?
That's a man in Bluey pajamas and a Bluey COVID mask, it looks like.
It does look kind of papery, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does look a little papery.
The Dirt Dog promised parents that the Bluey experience was going to have a meeting with Bluey. They were going to be showing the Bluey episodes all day.
Yeah.
They were going to have arts and crafts.
Yeah.
They were going to have Bluey face painting. This was going to be a Bluey experience for the whole family. Thousands of people RSVP'd to this one event at this one restaurant in Las Vegas. 3,000 people, even more people showed up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Bluey is huge. And if you have something locally that you can do with your kids, it makes tons of sense to, go out, especially a free experience like that.
Yeah.
Where you pay for like certain aspects of it, but you're supposed to have a good time either way.
For the cost of a meal.
Exactly. So unfortunately, this is from a Fox site. This is from Fox Las Vegas. But
it's important to note that Fox local channels are not the same as the Fox News cable channel. Those are two different companies.
They are different, but we still don't risk it.
No, we don't.
We tend not to risk it. But this is a little bit of coverage from the actual event there. You can see there's just a bunch of people sitting down, and it looks like there are crafts on the table.
This poor child.
I don't want to put too much of this kid on, but yeah, there's that photo. So there's the full shot of Bluey himself. What is Bluey?
Bluey is canonically a little girl.
Little girl. Okay. Again, I've never watched Bluey.
Bluey
I
is
apologize.
canonically a little girl with a large beard, apparently.
Yeah, there she is. There's Bluey. Do we think that's not a pretty good representation? Again, I haven't seen the show, so maybe this is like spot on.
It's a pretty good, well, now if I'm looking at the two of them next to each other, it is hard to tell the difference.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe they were expecting something more like the one on the left with like the big suit?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Which one was the one on the left? I've already forgotten.
Right.
Children were crying. Children were crying about seeing the beard in particular. I don't know if you know this. Beards are a particularly traumatizing thing for children.
I do know this. Yeah. Beards commonly make children cry.
Yeah. If you have a beard and then it's gone, they cry. If you don't have a beard and then you have a beard, they cry. Beards are just a problem for children. And to come and see Bluey with a beard, well, that's multiple conversations that parents probably didn't want to have that day.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
Yeah.
Because now are you having to have Bluey's not real today?
Bluey's not real. Gender isn't real.
Right.
The way we express gender isn't real.
Well, the way that we express gender is very real, depending on it, but it is not correlated to the gender of this cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're on a little bit of a roll of these children's experiences. And I'm wondering if people are looking at it and being like, well, if they can do it, we can do it. Or if it's totally unrelated.
I have to believe that each of these companies that does this is doing it independently.
Yeah.
And believing, like not knowing that this goes down in flames so often. I think, do you want to know what I really think? I think that
Tell me what you really think.
I think that probably, and once again, this is giving them the best benefit of the doubt. I think they genuinely thought this was going to be a pretty small thing.
Yeah.
I think they thought like maybe we'll get a little bit more of a crowd than we usually do. And we'll do the best we can to do like a fun little event.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it turned into, oh no, 3,000 people have RSVP'd and we still don't have money for this event.
Yeah, because the RSVPs don't come with money. They're not purchasing
They don't
tickets.
come with the money to rent a Bluey performer.
So this was something that was organized primarily through a Facebook event. Dirt Dog is a restaurant chain in Las Vegas, and they promised a meet and greet with Bluey.
They apparently have one here as well in Los Angeles. According to the article, they're like in Las Vegas and here, but I've never heard of them.
I've never heard of Dirt Dog.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. Parents, as you can imagine, were pretty upset. There are a lot of complaints on their Instagram, on their Facebook page, a lot of people commenting, do not go, false advertisement. This is what is waiting for kids at Dirt Dog, trying to warn people because people were going to be coming throughout the day, right? Since then, Dirt Dog has posted an apology.
Okay.
The Dirt Dog apology on their Instagram is for some reason a photo with music over it that made it a video. We're not going to play the music. I'm guessing it's the Bluey theme.
I hope it's the Bluey theme. I hope they played the Bluey theme without the rights.
The sound has been removed.
Okay.
To our Bluey families, we are truly sorry that this event wasn't the expected experience. We take pride in putting on community events for you and your families to enjoy. We have staff play out host characters for an added personal touch. We were overwhelmed with the turnout to this event. We will continue to improve our events so we can ensure nothing like this will happen in the future. We apologize to the families that miss out on what we had to offer. We hope to repair our relationship with all of you.
Now, the families that missed out?
That miss out.
That miss out. Are they trying to apologize both to the entirety of the people that got in because they were all disappointed and the entirety of the people that didn't get in because they were pissed that they didn't get into the terrible experience?
You know what it sounds like to me?
What?
It sounds like they're like, well, a bunch of people are dunking on us.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be getting dunked on. Because they didn't actually say they did anything wrong other than they were overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They were like, that was on purpose. We had a personal touch by putting Jeff in the Bluey costume.
Yeah.
That's how Dirt Dog does it. You know what I mean?
That's how the dog do.
That's how the Dirt Dog does it.
We got that dog in us.
Exactly. And we have Jeff in that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the dog in us. We got Jeff in the dog. We got you in the Dirt Dog looking at Jeff in the dog.
Exactly. And then I think what it is they're getting a bunch of hate on their social media. They're getting people posting, hey, don't go here, right? And I wonder if they're like, you guys are going to miss out. And we're sorry for you.
Yeah.
Because of everybody
'cause we
who's
also-
not going to come to Dirt Dog, because of all these people that warned you not to come to Dirt Dog. I'm sorry for what you're going to be missing.
I'm sorry for what you're missing because we bought so many themed pajama sets for Jeff.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the characters Jeff is going to be in the future.
You wouldn't believe it.
Next week,
Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig. We got Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
We've got Paw Patrol.
Mm-hmm. Caillou.
Jeff's gonna shave his head.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to be there.
Jeff in the background. What?
What? Dude,
I am?
no, I get paid $13 an hour. I'm not doing that.
I'm not shaving my head.
I'm
to
not
be
shaving
Caillou.
my head.
People don't even like Caillou. Why? Kids are going to beat me up.
I'm an actor. I can't shave my head.
No, Jeff. You work at this restaurant.
How dare you?
Listen, you work at Dirt Dog in Las Vegas.
You said you believed in me.
I believe in you and your ability to be Caillou. That's how much I believe in you.
First of all, I am going to just say, if you are taking your child to a family event at Dirt Dog Bar, which is the full name of this thing.
Well, it is just
Bar.
Dirt Dog, I think. Technically, a dine-in, takeout, and delivery restaurant.
I feel like
Chain restaurant.
the Dirt Dog is probably not the place for the family event.
No.
Especially because the event that they have listed before the Bluey event is that they're going to be at the Electric Daisy Carnival. This is not a family restaurant.
Dirt Dog EDC, baby.
Dirt Dog is a bunch of 20-somethings that work at a pub, bar, brewery situation.
Yeah.
And are just like hungover all the time.
Now, hold on.
This is not a family restaurant.
Are you telling me, I didn't mean to zoom in on that wing. So these are the photos on their Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the walls are lined with Source magazine for the most part, a hip hop magazine. Are you telling me this doesn't look like the place to host a Bluey event?
I feel like it's not their usual demographic. They're not usually catering to the family crowd.
Are you sure that this is not the crowd? As somebody is offering some wings to, I don't know, Jay-Z?
Yeah, there's nothing kids love more than hot wings and 12-year-old issues of Source magazine with 50 Cent on the cover.
Yeah, kids love 50 Cent.
Dude, if there's one thing kids love,
it's 50 Cent.
It's 50 Cent.
You know, 50 Cent is kind of the Caillou of the rap world.
50 Cent, kids love to play Blood on the Sand. It's their favorite video game.
Yeah.
Followed by Def Jam Vendetta.
Yeah.
A lot of kids like to play that.
Yeah. And DJ Hero.
And DJ Hero. And then, of course, the kids are constantly asking for the unreleased bootleg Wu-Tang fighting game for the PS1.
Yeah. Which is why this place is so popular. With the kids.
With the kids.
Again, everybody. With the kids.
With the kids.
With the kids. This is where the Bluey event is happening.
This is for children.
Listen, I feel like it's obvious that it's for children. Every photo's of alcohol, guys. Every photo.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. It is Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I know that people start taking kids to bars at like 6 months in Las Vegas. But like.
But damn, there's got to be something more family oriented.
Hey, wait, that's Rapunzel next to a hot dog. They had a. This is
They did have a previous Disney day. Okay.
Come have a magical day with us.
Does it say anything about characters?
Let's see. It says Disney ice cream cones, Disney mocktails, and cocktails for adults. I wish it would stop moving. There we go. Face painting, Disney photo booth, Disney karaoke. Meet some Disney characters.
Ooh.
And lots of family fun.
I wonder how that one turned out.
And then the one before it is a whiskey thing.
Okay.
And the one before that is beer.
Is double beer.
Double fisting beer. And then before that is more beer.
Yeah.
But hey, Disney Day, come meet some characters.
I honestly can't believe Disney is throwing these days at the Dirt Dog.
I don't know why the image is Rapunzel and a hot dog.
You don't?
I don't. Does Pascal really dig hot dogs or something? I don't know. Okay.
That's Pascal's favorite food.
Okay.
You listen. I'm shocked that Disney would allow these events to happen.
Yeah, Disney definitely knows these are happening.
I can't believe that Disney would put on these events.
Yeah, can't believe these officially sanctioned Disney events are happening at Dirt Dog Las Vegas. Honestly, I want to go to one.
Look, of course you do.
I always do.
Of course you do. We want to go to all the bad events.
Yeah.
If there's a bad event, we want to be there.
I want to see Jeff dressed up as Rapunzel.
We might have taken the full road trip from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
What is it? A 6-hour drive?
Yeah.
Let's go.
5 if you drive fast.
And we can if it's to meet an unsanctioned Bluey.
Exactly. I think this is so funny. Thank you very much to Flatlander in the live studio audience for suggesting this story. I do agree. I think these are all unrelated. I think these are all people. And I really do think that, again, I agree with you that it's like these people thought they were putting on something small. It was a Facebook event. They've put on this Disney character themed thing before and it didn't make fucking news.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it was like, I bet they were slightly better costumes because they were more humanoid characters.
Yes.
Like it's really easy to mess up a dog costume if you are a human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being human inherently does kind of ruin the illusion of dog.
Yeah.
Unless you're that
it's
one
true.
guy who became a dog.
The shaggy dog?
Guy who lives his life. Guy who became a dog. Hold on.
Oh, this is a real.
Yeah.
I know the gentleman on the Instagram and TikTok who walks around on all fours.
Yeah, no, this one?
Oh, no, we know these.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one. That's a man in a dog costume.
That's a man.
Toko, that's his name. Yeah.
That's a
Toko.
man.
Y'all familiar with this? I know I've talked about it on my
They
stream.
think it is weird.
Yeah.
In quotes.
Yeah.
They think it's weird.
Yeah, so that's Toko. That's the man who decided to become a dog by getting an ultra realistic dog costume that crawls around in a dog costume all the time.
That's so okay. He's repped by an agency.
Yeah, Toko.
So there's I guess there's
Sometimes
some
he gets
sort
wheeled
of
around.
Yeah, some sort of professional legitimacy to this. Like he goes and he's a dog at events or something.
Hopeful. He's hopeful for it.
I mean, it's also a sex thing. But,
Probably. Yeah.
But
yeah, the kennel would imply.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Toko.
But I mean, if you can make money doing what you love,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
what they say.
I think I would consider Toko totally unemployed. I would say eligible for unemployment.
There's got to be
Anyways, that's
a Vegas equivalent of Toko that could have come to the event.
Yeah.
But he's probably not allowed within 500 feet of children.
I would think that's probably it.
Yeah.
So at least we know Jeff is probably allowed around children.
Yeah.
You know? Here's the thing.
Tell me.
As somebody who worked as Santa's helper in the mall, I tend to think, you look at someone like Jeff who doesn't want to be there,
Yeah.
and I'm comforted. We've decided to name this guy Jeff. I don't know this man's
Yeah.
name, who has the beard and the Bluey costume. We're calling him Jeff.
He's Jeff now.
I'm like, Jeff, honestly, him not looking like he wants to be there in the suit, comforting to me.
Yeah. The people who really want to be in the suit.
Less comforting to me.
Less
more
comforting.
concerning. More risk. You know?
Yeah. Particularly at a
At a bar in Las
at
Vegas.
an off-brand event.
Yeah, in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do know I hate Las Vegas.
I do as well. I once responded to an ad in when I was living in New York for a children's puppet theater that was like, hey, looking for apprentice puppeteers
Awesome.
to volunteer at the puppet theater.
Cool.
And like we'll teach you puppeteering.
That absolutely seems like something you'd do.
I was like, this is dope. I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah.
I'll work with kids and I'll do the puppets and
Yeah.
it'll be great. No, this was just a man. There was no physical theater.
Oh no.
The theater was just the name of his company. This was just a man with with a one of those disconcerting Southern accents. Now I grew up in the South.
Yep.
I occasionally will lapse into a little bit of a Southern accent, but this is one of those like those real quiet, like this kind of Southern. You know what I mean? Like, and he would just do children's events for cash under the table, and it was a very strange. He was very strange, and I went once. And I was like, oh no, my dude. Oh,
No,
absolutely
no.
not. And then it was one of those weird things where I only went once. And I was like, and at the end, he's like, well, let's, it would be great to, do more. I was like, yeah, we'll see.
Oh, yeah,
We'll
man.
see.
Don't call me. I'll call you.
Where he started texting me like, this is irresponsible and unprofessional of you. Like, I thought you were really gonna like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, I went and did 1 hour thing.
I'm gonna need you to take my puppeting at children's birthday parties a little more seriously, Anthony.
Yeah. I thought I could trust you. I thought that,
What about me?
I thought that you would be somebody that would actually come through. This looks very poor for you and blah, blah. I was like, okay. Bud.
That's the biggest red flag.
That's the worst red flag.
That's the worst red flag.
Oof.
No.
Oof.
Here's the thing. Why has it been so hard for you to find someone to hold puppets? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have my suspicions as to why.
That's in my mind, though. You know what I mean? It was like, if this is a full puppet theater, like we have the Bob Baker Marionette Theater.
Oh,
here.
yeah, 100%. If it's a theater,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And these are all puppeteers that are like very good at what they do.
Birthday party performance is a massive industry, especially for actors as a side hustle.
Oh, yeah.
It is a massive side hustle for actors. Like in LA, the amount of people that I know, the amount of women that I know that are also party princesses.
Yes.
Everyone's been a party princess at some point. I totally interviewed to be a party princess at some point.
During the pandemic, for a couple of my friends for their kids' birthdays, you remember a lot of the party princesses here in LA were out of work.
Yeah.
Just couldn't do anything. And so a few of my friends, for their little kids, I would just like have them have Zoom calls with their favorite princess.
Yeah.
Stuff like this. And that's the thing is like these sort of like unlicensed events or whatever, I'm not against those. There are parents of every tax bracket that want to make their child happy.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what and if you get the party princess that you can afford to make your kid's birthday magical.
Yeah.
There are some parents that have the money to take their kid to Disneyland and have them actually meet for their birthday. And there are some parents that are like, yo, this kid has got a cousin that they don't know very well, that they will not recognize in a wig. And that cousin is now Elsa.
I got hit on by my nephew's off-brand Batman at his birthday party.
Hey, what are you doing later?
He like fully, and mind you, way younger than me. This dude is like probably fresh out of high school and I'm there, an adult. And he's like taking off the mask and being like, like kids, right? And I'm like, no.
Kids, right?
Kids.
Yeah.
Kid.
No, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Swear to me. Swear to me.
I'm good, bud. I'm good, bud.
But while we're speaking about Disney characters and employees and all this stuff, we want to say congratulations to the Disneyland performers.
Yeah.
Who have voted to unionize.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
Computer just froze.
I think I told you that growing up in Orlando, if you were an actor, you really tried to get yourself a gig at Disney as a face character. Face character is a character who's not wearing like a head over their head. Yeah.
A clip of our show did very well on TikTok discussing this.
Oh yeah, of you were short. You're too short to be a princess.
Yeah, of you being mean to me.
Not being mean. You said you were like, I don't know what character I would have been.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I said, I looked into it.
Yeah.
And I was too short to be a princess. And you said you'd be Winnie the Pooh.
I said, yeah, you'd be Winnie the Pooh. That's how I said it. That's not an insult. That's who you would be.
Rude.
That's who you would be. I think also maybe a Minnie Mouse.
See, that would have been such a nicer answer.
Winnie the Pooh was the first one I thought of.
Exactly. That's the problem. Anyways.
But the deal is, if you are not a Winnie the Pooh, if you are a princess in Orlando, at least, I don't know how it was over here, you got to be in the Theater Actors Guild. So you got to actually have insurance and stuff.
Yeah.
And so if you were a working actor in Orlando, that was the thing.
Yeah.
But if you were a character with a Winnie the Pooh head on, you get whatever wage Disney wants to pay.
Yep.
And heat stroke a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Those character costumes are packed with ice and fans.
You ever had heat stroke?
Once when I was a kid, I started overheating and I was like dehydrated. Yeah.
I had a heat stroke on set once.
Oof, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
As a youth or as an adult?
As a teen.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the middle. Split the diff. As a teen.
In that awkward phase to have a heat stroke.
Yeah, it's an awkward time. It's a very embarrassing time to have a heat stroke.
You know those years when you have like a really awkward, ugly looking heat stroke?
Yeah. Pretty unfortunate.
You have a cute heat stroke when you're little.
Exactly.
And then when you're an adult, you have like a
understandable kind of, you know?
Like
as a teen.
like a beautiful, handsome heat stroke.
Yeah, but as a teen, ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fully blacked out on a set from heat stroke.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough. And so it was not the best conditions. You have to, I believe the characters are out 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off, or 30 minutes on, 45 minutes off, something like that.
I don't know what the current schedule is for it. It's changed over the years,
It's changed over the years. It used to be that they were only out for 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
They were only out for 15 minutes every hour, but they've since upped that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the easiest gig to work.
Yeah.
And the characters in the Disney parks finally voted to unionize to make sure that they get proper treatment and payment for that job.
Now, this is currently just a vote to unionize, which does not mean that they are actually unionized yet. But that's one of the hard parts of it, right? The hard part is getting everybody on board. And it doesn't sound like it should be, because we know that unions benefit workers. Mm-hmm. But due to the way that big companies communicate about unions, it can be very hard to get people even to the vote.
Yeah, there are a lot of the way companies talk about unions is that they will lock employees into decisions that they don't want to make. They will harm negotiations. They will harm flexibility for employees by imposing rules on them. And then if that sort of propaganda doesn't work, usually what they'll do is just start firing people who want to unionize and finding reasons to fire them. Now, we're not saying that Disney was anything like this. We don't know.
We're not there.
We're not there. But what we do know is that getting the agreement between everybody is the tough thing. Particularly, and you would think this wouldn't be true, it is hard to get all 7 dwarves on board with anything.
Yeah.
It's usually like, you'd think it would be Grumpy that was holding out. It's Doc.
Yeah. But then when you really think about it, you're like, I hate that I know that's true, you know?
Yeah.
I hate that that's accurate.
Doc is just like, well, it's I've heard that if we vote for the unions, that they could limit our pay increases, and what do we want? More bureaucracy in the workplace?
Okay, Doc, you bought the hovel with like 8 magic beans in 1960. Give me a break.
Yeah, you inherited an emerald mine. We've heard this one before, Doc.
Knock it off, Doc. He's like, listen, my parents worked very hard.
No, it's not Dopey, surprisingly. Dopey really cares about workers' rights and people.
Yeah.
Because Dopey cares about people's feelings. Dopey just is not a great negotiator or good with legalese.
Yeah. But there's plenty of other folks to take care of that.
Yeah.
The princesses, on the other hand, not on board for the most part.
No. Hard
to believe.
The only princess I think that was pro-union was Vanellope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vanellope von Schweetz was very big.
Very into it. Yeah.
But most of the princesses, no.
No, unfortunately not.
No. And listen, if you have kids, put them right up to the TV again if you're watching on a TV.
Yeah, unfortunately, your favorite Disney princesses are anti-union.
Yeah. Do you know
Queens too, that includes Elsa.
Yeah, I was going to say, Elsa is the most anti-union.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You should know that. Elsa wants your mom and dad to not have enough money to throw you a birthday party.
Yeah.
That's real.
Here's what I will say. 100% Tiana.
Yeah, Tiana as well.
Tiana owns her own restaurant. Absolutely pro-union. Definitely.
Yes. Those are your 2.
Yeah.
In the 100 Acre Wood.
I was trying to see if like Merida, but I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No,
Merida's not for the union.
I will say the Scots have a strong socialist parties, and
they do.
But we don't know. I guess we wouldn't think royalty's in on them, you know?
No. In the 100 Acre Wood, Rabbit is anti-union, surprisingly.
Oh,
Owl,
no, that makes sense.
Owl is pro-union, but only to sort of like install himself on the labor board.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh is actually, and this is disappointing, describes himself as not political.
Yeah, he's kind of a centrist, unfortunately, at the end of the day.
Well, I just don't want to worry about
Piglet
it.
is strongly driven by fear.
Yes.
So definitely not pro-union.
No,
definitely a Republican.
The only person who's like in the 100 Acre Wood that's really, really into it. The only two are Tigger and Eeyore.
Yeah.
Tigger and Eeyore
Eeyore knows everything that's wrong.
It's tough to get Eeyore to show up to meetings though, because Eeyore will vote for the union.
Yeah.
But Eeyore will not speak for the union.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I will get fired for this.
Yeah.
They will bring the hammer down on all of us. And nobody listens to Tigger because even though he's very smart and he's got good ideas, Tigger, 10 milligrams of Adderall changed my life.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying, Tigger.
Right. That's all I'm saying. Now, some people here are saying Belle they think would be pro-union. And I'm going to say, I don't think Belle would be.
I think she would. But you have to remember that Belle, technically, theoretically, is not a princess until the very end.
Right, but these are all post-movie.
Right.
All of these union votes are happening post their movies.
But that's what I'm saying is Belle grew up in literally a working class family, borrowing books from the bookshop because her town didn't even have a library.
Yeah.
Just had one guy with a huge bookstore who never sold anything because the only person who came in was the girl who borrows the books.
I don't know. I feel like she was kind of mean to all those workers. Her opening song is about how boring and lame the repetitive days are.
She definitely does not think highly of them, but is one of those people that is academically believes the right thing, but personally is insufferable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She believes in workers' rights.
Yeah.
She wants workers' rights.
Right.
She doesn't want to talk to any workers.
Yeah. No, I agree.
She's basically like an NYU or Columbia student.
Yeah. Somebody said Mulan. Mulan would be pro-union.
Mulan is definitely
pro-union. Somebody brought up Pocahontas. We're not factoring Pocahontas in this because we're not holding indigenous people to our weird systems that fucked up theirs.
Yeah.
And real person. So we're not gonna, that's, you know?
Yeah.
I know you said technically not a Disney princess, which is accurate. So Cinderella, definitely not. Cinderella is not pro-union.
No.
No.
You think she would be, but she's one of those ones that's like,
well, I got out. Yeah.
Pull yourself up by your slippers.
Yeah.
Is what she says.
Aladdin, yes. Jasmine?
No.
No, I'm sorry,
No. Particularly when you get to live action Jasmine.
Yeah.
Live action Jasmine is like, hey, I'm good enough to be Sultan.
Yeah. I love live action Jasmine. I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, Cindy,
no.
She's anti-union.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, that was enough time for my computer to restart for an update. So,
hey, while we're talking about some Disney and Disney Corporation news, Light Whip.
Yeah, what up?
Light Whip.
Yeah.
It's there. We got a new clip from The Acolyte and Saige.
Yeah.
Vernestra Rowe.
Yeah.
Has the first live action in main current canon.
Yeah.
Real as hell.
Yeah.
Light Whip.
Yeah. How about your screen?
Yeah. You need to restart your thing.
Yeah, I would think so, probably. Yeah, we're not playing it with sound. We're not getting in trouble. We're not doing it.
Yeah. Where is the Light Whip?
Where's the Light Whip? Show me the Light Whip.
It's coming up. It's a Light Whip. It's very good.
Yeah.
There's Kelnaka.
Ugh. God, Acolyte's going to be so good.
Acolyte's going to be so good. Where's this Light Whip? There it is. Light Whip. Light Whip.
Just a brief moment of Light Whip.
Light Whip. And here's what I'm going to say. People are divided on the Light Whip.
Really?
Yeah, which
What's the negativity on the Light Whip?
I understand.
Why?
Because if you are somebody who only comes from movie canon or sort of or new canon, if you're somebody who didn't dip into like the weird ancillary stuff back in the day, you may be like, you may find a Light Whip silly. The idea is lightsabers are these like very tough to build, like crazy rare weapons that can only do this one thing. The idea of like, oh, well, what if somebody has a Light Whip? Or what if somebody has like, I don't know, light
People use their
whatever.
lightsabers to fly recently.
Yeah. Helicopter lightsabers. I love them.
So like, you draw the line at a Light Whip?
People just don't. They're like, that's weird. Where does it stop? Like, where's the line now? Can anything be a light weapon? And it's like, first of all, calm down. Second of all, these things have been in Star Wars canon since the 80s.
Yeah.
They started off in Marvel Comics. They have been since then in many novels and all kinds of adaptations. And they have been canon in the High Republic for the entire time that the books have been going.
Yeah.
Vernestra Rwoh Vern has had a light whip from go. But I understand it's a new idea. It's sort of like if you watch Star Wars Visions and you have the samurai that had the sort of umbrella that was made of the different lightsabers.
Yeah.
Some people thought that was cool. Some people were like, that was over the top.
Yeah, it's interesting to me where people draw the line in their fantasy and sci-fi of too unrealistic for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because you've got to thread this needle of like what feels tonally appropriate for this imaginary world you've created.
And light whips do to me. Completely.
And especially...
I was even surprised that people were bothered by it.
Yeah.
Now the copters, I'm like, I get it. I think they're fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it's definitely weird. It's silly. It's objectively silly.
In animation,
Yeah.
I think it's fun and cool.
Yeah.
In live action, it looks and feels weird.
Yeah, but like I had a good time and I wasn't upset about it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is silly, but that's fine. I get that one.
Yeah.
The light whip, I'm like, what do you mean that's fucking tight?
Well, especially because we're talking about High Republic, right? So we're like 1,000 years before
Yeah.
before episode 1.
And I
so
think that's-
it's like a high Republic. High Republic is high magic, high technology.
Yes.
This is back when the Jedi were at their peak and could do anything.
And
So
I
why can't
think-
you just have a few different weapons?
I think a lot of people don't factor that in. There's a lot of Star Wars fans that are not like, that think that they're really big Star Wars fans because they care so much about the original movies, but because they're not expanded universe, like they don't get into the animated stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
And stuff like that. And it's like, you can be a big Star Wars fan that's not into different segments of it. But if you're a big Star Wars fan that's only like, I liked 1977 to 1986, right?
Then you're not a big Star Wars fan.
No, you're a
really.
big fan of 3 movies, and
Yeah,
that's fine, and you
that's
can
cool.
have those 3 movies. But I think that people don't factor in enough because I see these comments a lot that are like, oh, well, how come Jedi can do this and can do this, but they couldn't do this in the original movies? And I've got 2 answers for you. 1, different times of war heavily impact available technology.
Yes.
Societies commonly regress during war times.
Yeah.
So the original movies were during a point of like such so deep in war that technology had stopped progressing.
And not just technology, but information.
Exactly.
The restriction of information from
Correct.
person to person, which is why most people were like, Jedi, that's weird.
Correct. And number 2, it was 1977 and they didn't think the movies were going to be that big. So they didn't have the budget to make cool shit like this.
Yeah, there was
Congrats, they do now.
not just that, but the entire idea stylistically of what made a cool action sequence, what
Yes.
made a cool fight scene.
Yeah.
Were completely different. Like the prequels were heavily influenced, obviously, by Asian cinema and by Asian action cinema style coming to the United States.
Heavily influenced by samurai films and westerns.
Yeah, always. But I'm talking like in the prequels, it was coming over from your sort of like your Donnie Yen, your Chow Yun Fat, your Jet Li. Like we were going heavily into wire work, heavily into flips, heavily into like not your classic samurai. We're going to stare each other down and do one slice.
Oh yeah.
Which that was the style, right?
Yeah.
It's you stare and you only take the one shot you need, which is why samurai turns into cowboy so well.
Right, which is so funny because that's the tone of the originals, right?
Yeah.
And then we get to the prequels and we get this fast-paced fighting style, right? And then now we get to Ahsoka, right? And people are dunking on the fight style being exactly that, where they slowed it back down. They went back to that samurai and Western influence, which makes total sense for the time period that Ahsoka is set in the Star Wars canon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And they have that slow, we're going to eye each other down. We're going to take the strike that matters, right? A bunch of those battles are that style of it. And people are like, slow and boring. I'm like, hey, watch the originals again. Watch them again.
Learn to find dramatic tension in things other than flips through the air.
Different fight styles,
Like,
all so cool.
But also the Ahsoka fights, I think, were a perfect mix of the two styles.
Loved.
Because the fight at the end of Ahsoka between Ahsoka and Morgan Elsbeth is maybe one of the best fight sequences ever in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And has that like heavily new canon, like modern Asian action kung fu cinema.
Yeah.
Because you have Diana in there.
Right.
So I think when you go back to a time where it's like, hey, the Jedi literally are the light of the galaxy.
Yeah.
The starlight beacon.
Mm-hmm.
They're where they originate from. Like the beacon of light throughout the galaxy.
Yeah.
They can have all kinds of wild technology that we haven't seen before.
Absolutely.
And
And
we
then when
gotta
you
open up
wipe
to
out
that.
the Jedi,
Mhm.
so much of tradition, so much of like access, so much of their history we know has been lost.
We talk all the time about the destruction of Jedi temples, the loss of their ancient texts, things like that.
We're at a point in the original movies where people don't even know if Jedi were real.
Yeah.
The Force was real.
Are Jedi's pro-Union though? Ooh, depends on when you ask.
I think it's really
Depends on
dependent on
when
the
you
time
ask.
period. Like, hear me out. Okay.
High Republic, yes.
Okay. Prequels?
No.
But Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are.
Qui-Gon is particularly.
Is. Obi doesn't start there, but Obi-Wan gets there. He learns from Qui-Gon.
Obi-Wan promises only becomes pro-Union
After
because
Qui-Gon dies.
Makes him promise to be pro-Union.
That's what I mean. I think Qui-Gon's death turns Obi-Wan pro-Union.
That's right. On his deathbed,
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn looks at Obi-Wan and goes, "Listen to me. You have to train the future generation of workers."
Collective bargaining is the only thing that can leverage against the bourgeoisie. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. But I do think he gets there. I think he lives the rest of his life pro-union.
Luke Skywalker, by the end of his life, is extremely pro-union to the point where he's detrimental to workers' rights.
Yeah.
He's actually like, he's that guy that's too far.
He's gone full anarchist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at some point, I think we go through a phase where we go, anarchy. And then we go, okay, a little bit of order.
You lose all power at the bargaining table. You lose all credibility with the rest of society. Anarchy may work, but you are no longer pro-union when you're anarchist.
Yes.
I believe that the Rey movie is going to be entirely about her forming a workers' union.
Yeah. Yeah.
The James Mangold Rey movie is entirely about her forming a workers' union.
Yeah, I think that's the arc for a lot of people. I think Rey, when we first meet her, just wouldn't even know what a union is. But once she found out, she'd be very in.
Yeah.
I think her...
Sorry, it's not James Mangold.
I think her and Finn and Poe...
Oh, Finn is pro-union.
Finn is very pro-union, 100%.
Finn is extremely pro-union.
100%. I think Poe Dameron's pro-union too.
Oh, Poe Dameron's extremely pro-union.
I think he's pro-union.
Poe Dameron's pro-union, but like... It's hard to get Poe to go to meetings.
I agree. I think Rose is somebody you never hear about when they talk about the unions, but is leading the meetings.
Rose literally has the sign-up sheet.
Rose organized.
Yeah.
Rose like, put the whole thing together.
When the union happens, everybody's like, and everybody please thank Finn and Poe and Rey for this union.
And Rose is just there like, cool.
It was just like,
now, Datterall said, all droids are pro-union, surely. Now, if you've seen, however, it was in the Obi-Wan series, right?
Yeah.
There's that scene where they go into the droid bar.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, do you want to help humans? And they're like, gee willikers, guys. We love helping humans. That's what we were programmed.
That was the Mandalorian.
Was it Mando?
It was the Jack Black Lizzo episode.
Is that Mando or is that Boba Fett then?
Mando.
Okay. That episode, I don't think those droids were pro-union. I think those droids were kind of bootlickers.
Oh.
I think they were programmed to be bootlickers.
That was
Mando, yeah.
That was interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. That scene has a lot of philosophical implications, and I don't know what they say about workers' rights necessarily.
Yeah. I think the way they wrote those lines was questionable at best. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway, light whip. Light whip. Hey everyone.
Anthony put so many links in here and none of them are clickable.
It's okay. I want to talk about something that's been weirding me out.
What's been weirding you out?
The Cannes Film Festival is happening, Saige.
Okay.
And that's not weirding me out.
I would hope not.
That happens.
It's pretty normal.
Yeah, that happens every year.
Yeah, you'd be a little easily shaken if so.
What I'm finding strange lately is that every headline I see
Mhm.
about the Cannes Film Festival has to do with the length of a standing ovation that a movie received at the Cannes Film Festival. I don't know if you've noticed this, but like here in Variety,
Mhm.
Nicolas Cage's sun-bleached, rat-munching mindbender, The Surfer, makes waves at Cannes with a 6-minute standing ovation. Okay. Like, that's a cool headline. Good for Nicolas Cage. Except then you go to see Barry Keoghan's new film, Bird,
Let's see if this works.
receives
Yeah.
a 7-minute standing
A
ovation,
little bit of a one-up.
thereby saying that Barry Keoghan's movie, I guess, is like 1 minute better than,
I guess.
I guess.
Now, is this no longer like winning awards at film festivals? It's about the length of your standing ovation?
Well, it feels like a weird metric to me, but it's the
It does.
only metric that anybody cares about. Here's Cannes 2024. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, a star of The Substance, receives 11-minute standing ovation.
Wow.
Clearly the best movie at Cannes.
Well, how embarrassing for Emma Stone then to only get a 4.5-minute standing ovation.
Now, the 4.5 really got me thinking, Saige.
Yeah.
Somebody is really timing these.
Yeah.
Somebody is really sitting there and going, well, it wasn't quite 5,
Mhm.
but it wasn't 4.
They had a stopwatch. That's 4 minutes and
That's
36
4
seconds.
30 that's 4 minutes and 30 seconds,
Mhm.
4.5 minutes.
Yeah. You couldn't round up or down on that headline?
And then
4.5.
sometimes they can't even agree on the length of the standing ovation.
Sure.
You can see right here in Variety, Kevin Costner can't hold back tears as his Western epic Horizon earns a 7-minute Cannes standing ovation.
Now, Anthony.
A standing ovation.
Now, see, that's confusing because I heard in People that it was a 10-minute standing ovation.
Well, now I don't know how good the movie is now.
Was it 7 or 10 minutes good?
That's
Now, listen.
How do we transfer this into percentage of good?
This has to be a metric people are actually using to get distribution. It has to be. There's no way that all of these news sources all decided that this was a thing. If it isn't, like, I bet these all have PR teams, right? For the
Yeah.
movies.
Oh, of course.
That are all trying to get these headlines. Hey, talk about our 7-minute standing ovation.
Yeah,
Right?
like
That's the press release they're sending out.
They're putting out these things that are just like 7-minute standing ovation for Kevin Costner's opus. Because they can't be headlines for us.
They can.
Because they can't be headlines for us, Saige, because we don't give a shit.
No.
I could not care less.
Cannes cool.
It's dope. I'm very excited to see what movies are coming out soon.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what movies people are enjoying.
Yeah.
But who looks at that? Who wakes up in the morning and goes to the news and looks and goes, Kevin Costner, he got that ovation. Wow, 10 minutes. I knew I was going to like Horizon.
Right?
I knew it was going to be a good movie.
Emma Stone, 4.5 minutes. I mean, I still think that says it's pretty strong.
I don't know. I don't go to the movies for 4.5 minutes.
I don't go to the movies for less than 5 standing ovation.
That's what?
Is this like, okay, so you know how Yelp tries to tell you how much things cost by the little dollar signs next to it? And you're like, oh, okay, I'm looking for like a 2 Monies restaurant or a 3 Monies restaurant.
But even that is like a codified thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's 1 to 5 monies.
Sure.
With 5 being the most monies.
But
one
when
of
you
these
get to
standing
different
ovations,
industries.
Sure, but one of these standing ovations I heard was like 15 minutes. Now what? Is the top end of the scale 15 now?
We don't even know where the scale ends.
Yeah, we don't have any sort. What's 5 monies?
Yeah.
We don't have that.
But again, 5 Monies for what industry, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, 2 Monies for a bagel versus 2 Monies for, I don't know, a theme park, right?
Yeah.
Are 2 very different metrics, and they use it for everything.
Yeah, you would imagine that all bagels would be like 1 to 2 monies, and all theme parks would be 5
plus monies.
5 monies.
Yeah. But no, it's relative. So that's what I'm saying.
So then with these standing ovations, do the standing ovations not really mean much since everything at Cannes gets a standing ovation? What if you don't stand up at the end of a movie at Cannes?
Yeah.
Does like an usher come by to throw you out?
You are never welcome back. Your
Like-
face is put on the wall.
And what if
You hate cinema.
Yeah. It's this person hates cinema.
Yeah.
This person is a threat to film.
Yeah.
What if you make a movie that doesn't get a standing ovation at Cannes?
You'll never make another movie.
You get all the way to Cannes,
Yeah.
the world's
And then
most world's most prestigious film festival.
Yeah.
You've been making movies your whole life.
Uh-huh.
You make one movie at Cannes that doesn't get a standing ovation, and you are working at the Fuddruckers.
You get canned.
Don't force me into a high five with you.
Too late. I already
Don't
did.
force me into a high
Thanks for the
five with you.
high five, Anthony. It was
Don't force-
great.
That's like forcing me into a standing ovation at Cannes.
Yeah, well,
Imagine
you don't want your picture on the wall here. I'll put your picture up there and I'll say, Anthony didn't give me a high five. I'll put it right at the entrance.
if you
You don't want that and you know it.
genuinely
Don't get your picture on the wall, Anthony.
You already got yours.
Don't get your
you
picture
got it
on the
through.
wall.
You got it through ill-gotten means.
Guys, you're seeing this, right?
What would happen?
Anthony,
What would happen?
if you don't think, I will use the printer directly to my left and I will put your face on the wall and I'll say, he's not welcome here because he doesn't give high fives. I'll change the locks, Anthony.
You already took your high five. from
I'll
me.
change
You already
the
took
locks.
your high five. from
Give
me.
a high five,
No.
Anthony. Give me a high five.
Earn the next one. Earn it. I'm talking about Cannes. Take this seriously.
Thank you. Anyways, listen. Now, our friend Geeky Heart, who is in the chat, hi, it's good to see you, suggested that it's a 1 to 20 minute scale.
Why?
From the information we have available to us right now, it would seem that it's 1 to 20.
Are we just deciding an arbitrary ceiling?
Yeah.
What happens if something gets 21? Dude, if you get a 21,
That's like turning it up to 11.
if you get a 21-minute standing ovation, here's the thing. At the end of a movie, particularly like a movie that you would describe as somebody's magnum opus, right? That
Yeah.
Kevin Costner movie's got to be 3 hours long.
Yeah,
Kevin Costner doesn't get out of bed for less than 3 hours of movie.
sure.
I don't want to do
stand for 20 minutes.
I don't want to do 20 minutes at the end of that. I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I've got to go pee. It's been a 3-hour movie.
I think they kick everyone else out at 20. I think they kick everyone out at 20. I think they go, okay, that's enough.
You're going to kick the world's movie stars and biggest directors and filmmakers
Yeah.
out of the theater while they're giving, I don't know, Francis Ford Coppola his standing ovation.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
You're gonna tell him to wrap
He's
it up.
had enough. Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't know that they would ever throw any of those people out.
20 minutes.
I think they would let them
20 minutes.
I think they would let them just continue.
They got more movies to show.
I think they would let them continue for an hour and a half.
No,
if
they got more
would.
movies to show.
I don't like this as a metric.
No,
I
it's
don't
bad.
understand it.
No, it's bad.
This is just another out of touch thing where an industry is making headlines for members of the industry.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure the headlines about this mean a lot to Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
I could not.
It means a lot to Kevin Costner's PR company.
Yeah, I could not care less about who clapped the most for what.
No, not even a little bit.
That's really like, we're even taking the self-congratulatory level of like the Oscars
Yeah.
and all of these things. And we're literally putting it down to its base emotional level.
Right.
Which is, how much do you like me? Please clap.
Yeah. Please clap.
How much, the
Do you
longer
like me
you,
11?
the longer you clap, the more you like me. Will you like me? Buddy, I don't care. I think you're great.
Buddy?
But
I don't like you 11.
I don't like you 11.
I don't like you wait to pee after a movie.
Buddy,
The line's going to get long.
you made a 3-hour-long movie.
You've had 3 hours of my attention.
I got the big sody.
That's enough.
I gotta go.
Sorry. Now listen, maybe all of this having to have the same headlines comes from a few things, right? Okay. They're trying to get in the rotation of headlines when you're looking up things from Cannes.
Yeah.
Different news sources are trying to be in good with this PR. Okay. Because SEO is fucked.
SEO is fucked.
SEO is wrecked. And you know what's wrecking SEO more than ever?
The children.
Google Gemini.
I would have said the children. Okay, Google Gemini.
So when I first heard about this, was like, oh, I mean, using AI to suggest relevant things isn't an inherently bad idea, just an incredibly corruptible idea.
Yeah, it's a corruptible idea, and the technology is not particularly good at it right now.
Yeah.
It should not be in our face as much as it is every day.
It shouldn't be the default, right? And right now, if you just go to Google and you type something in, like a question, and you say like, hey, what kind of knife cuts through 2-inch, foam? It's what I Googled yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the first thing that came to mind. It's all I had. It summarizes
or a man.
All of the
what
information.
Kind of knife cuts through 2 inches of foam or a human bone.
Right. It summarizes the information from what it considers to be the relevant articles for you at the top from the Google AI.
Oh, I see a problem. For years, people have been gaming Google's SEO to actually torpedo the quality of search results.
Oh, how interesting. Isn't that so strange, right?
So I'm sorry, Saige, and I'm not an engineer.
Yeah.
I don't understand a computer, but wouldn't that mean, Saige, that then the Gemini AI is considering the horrible, cheating, lying results
as the
to
most
be
relevant
the most
to you?
relevant results?
Yes, it is. So that's the problem. I've been getting a bunch of inaccurate answers because it's just pulling something that it believed to be right. And I've gotten things that were literally completely wrong.
Oh, Google search has been garbage
We've
for
talked
years.
about how bad Google search results and the top results have been. And it is. And you can usually see the article just below that it actually pulled it from. And it's like, it might tell you that that is the answer to your question because it references something similar in the article. And even if the article itself wasn't wrong, it might have been talking about something else. And it pulled a sentence out of context and told you that was the answer.
Right. And then even if that article does have the answer, I then look at what it's pulled and I go, well, that article's wrong. I got to move on to the next article.
Correct. Now, Lestastic asked, wait, what was the knife? A classic snap-off utility knife.
It always is.
Classic snap-off, like box cutter style. But I want you all to know that you can turn it off.
The knife?
The Google AI.
Oh.
So if you are using Google Chrome, it's going to default to on for you absolutely every time you type something into the search bar. I'm going to put a link to this in our Discord for folks that can actually walk them through the process.
Or you can just Google it.
No,
just
you
Google,
can't.
Just Google how to turn it off.
No, you can't. There is like a custom URL in here.
Ask the AI how to shut itself off. AI, how do I stop you?
Yeah. So essentially what it is here is adding like the main actual AI-free Google link to as your default search engine as opposed to the built-in main default Google search engine.
Misery.
So you have to add the like AI-free version of it as your default search engine.
Horrible.
It's really silly and annoying.
This is like the last time Google did something like this was when they got rid of the plus in search terms. You remember you were able to put like an entire phrase in and put the pluses.
Yeah.
And for a couple years that didn't work.
Right.
Because they started their social network, Google Plus.
Yeah.
And so they torpedoed the ability to use a Boolean plus in searches, and it made it impossible to search for a phrase in Google for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that's really scary about this, Saige. Yes, the idea that they're forcing us to use the AI, the idea that you have to look up how to turn it off, all of this is bad.
Yes.
But the thing that's really bad about this is every time something like this happens and the quality of like Google search drops off by a noticeable amount. A product like that has such a stranglehold over our day-to-day lives that our day-to-day lives become noticeably worse when something like Google search becomes noticeably worse.
Oh yeah. This greatly impacts literally like actual education of humans.
Something that we have taken for granted as a society now for like 20 years has now become not worthless, but significantly less worthwhile and less usable. And so now that everybody's like, well, when I need the answer to something, I just Google it real quick. Oh no, you can't do that now.
Yeah. So there are two bad sides of this. In addition to all of the more philosophical bad. There are two like tangible bad, right? Which one is getting misinformation. Things like Google AI telling you to drink urine to pass a kidney stone or produce lethal chlorine gas to clean your washing machine, right? They still have the like very common AI problem of AI hallucinating and just making things up.
Yeah, AI will just be
AI.
My favorite thing is when you ask AI something and it goes like, oh yeah, it's this. And you're like, hey, are you lying? And it goes, yes, I'm lying. And you're just like, what?
Right. Yeah.
What?
So yeah, I made that up. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, okay. Well, maybe this is the answer. And you're like,
stop making things up. Stop answering. Say no. Now, the other problem is that it's deeply affecting people's actual websites because the information from their articles is being scraped by Google AI and provided to you without ever having to visit their website, which impacts companies getting AdSense, getting clicks, getting traffic to their website, which is still a lot of people's income.
Yeah,
it's how writers are paid for news sites.
Now, this is tricky as it was even when Google started using search and even putting the first few lines of something in search results. People were like, hey, they're getting the lead of our article without even going to the page. The other thing was like when RSS feeds became a thing and people were like, they're getting our articles without going to our site or seeing our ads.
But this is pretty next level.
This is extremely next level. This is
definitely an escalation of that problem. Now, PC Gamer tested this out. They looked for Baldur's Gate 3, how to fix Underdark Tower Elevator, remembering that they had written a guide close to that title when the game launched. The AI answer box mashed up instructions related to two different Underdark elevators in Baldur's Gate 3, resulting nonsense instructions with all of the unearned authority of an AI chatbot.
Oh, it's awful. And then, what's happening now on top of that is AI sites are scraping articles, particularly for things like game strategy guides and things like this.
Yeah.
You probably have seen it. It's also happening for technical information. I get this a lot when I look things up. You get entire sites that are just themed sites of AI scrapes of information.
Yeah.
So like, I'm looking for a Baldur's Gate guide.
Yeah.
And you go to gameguides.good or whatever. And you get there and it's like, here's our Baldur's Gate guide for the Underdark. And it's clearly just an AI scraped 20 sentences.
Exactly.
And they serve you 3 ads. And then the problem is like, Google continues eating this information.
Yeah.
And so everything is turning into Mad Libs.
So mostly Megan brings up a very good question, which is, I don't understand what the point of an AI overview is. Doesn't Google get paid to suggest some of the top sites? Isn't that why I have to skip the first 3 posts, the first 3 sponsored URLs? Now, a thing that pages do a lot, and we've seen this a lot with Meta doing this as they like own Instagram and Facebook, and they want people to continue to pay them for things. What they do is they add a new obstacle or barrier that makes it harder for your site to get seen so that more people have to pay in order to participate. So we recently saw an update from Instagram saying that signing up for the like Meta verified will actually now be prioritizing your posts in people's feeds in a tangible and like numbers way that we can see, right? So I think my guess would be that it's something like that.
Yeah,
the only way to opt out of these kinds of things might be through paying for it. The only way to even hope to be seen under the AI would be to be those sponsored results.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is we're going to see businesses that are like, hey, if you want Gemini, our magical, wonderful AI that we're putting in everything. It's going to be in the next version of Android. We know that. It's going to be built into everything Google does.
And we know that AI is not an inherently bad thing.
Right. But if you want to be part of Gemini, and you want to be profiled and put into a special place on Gemini where you are searched first as a trusted and verified source of data, you will have to go through some sort of Google certification process where you get where you pay a certain amount of money and Gemini scrapes your site and prioritizes your site results.
Because I'm like, hypothetically, might you also want to be excluded from it? Might you be able to, if you are sponsoring a post, not be the information that comes up in there? I don't know.
I think it will work both ways. I think what they're hoping for is most businesses will want to be part of Gemini results.
Yeah.
And then they might even throw everybody a bone a few years later where they go, hey, if you want to be a prioritized Gemini result, and Gemini serves your results to X thousands of people, we'll send you 13 cents.
Right.
The same way they do with YouTube and all of their other products. And it will be just slowly squishing the margins on content, on people who make content, people who are writers, people who are artists, as it is right now.
Well,
just turn it off.
You could turn it off.
I also think
the link's in the Discord if you want to.
Here's the other thing.
How to turn it off.
I also think we are hitting sort of like a maximum hype level for AI. And I think it is going to contract quite a bit over the next couple years.
Yeah, I think so.
I think more and more people are seeing that AI is mostly just a fun party trick at this point. And I think a lot of companies are going to have to pull back in that tech company way where it seems like they're not.
Yeah.
Where Meta isn't like stopping focusing on VR. Meta still focuses on VR. We just don't hear about VR from Meta anymore. This is one of those tech things that'll just sort of, I think, implode to an extent.
Yes. AI will go back to being used in like the really in your face ways, which is how AI should be used. It shouldn't be used for things like art. It should be used for functionality and making things work better. It's going to go back to being something, hopefully, that people aren't really talking about, and it's just going to be a technology.
Yeah.
And technology in general is not that interesting to the general public.
I hope we go back to dial-up modems and Tamagotchis.
There we go. Lestastic said AI is the new buzzword, like NFTs or Web3. Right.
Yes.
But the difference is that AI has been here and will remain here. NFT is going to be dead forever.
Yeah, machine learning algorithms are an important part of everything a computer does.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're just going to get rid of the fancy product.
When it's less fun and buzzy, I hope it gets used for more useful things.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's talk about something really useful.
Okay.
Anti-sex beds.
That's right. You're all sleeping on them, right? You're all sleeping on them, right?
You aren't heathens in pro-sexual beds, are you?
If you're married, you get to push 2 anti-sex beds together. But that's it.
Only if you're married.
Only if you're married.
And not if you're going to the Olympics, because it's that time again. The anti-sex beds for the upcoming Olympics have arrived. Now, this has been something that's been going on for years. I think as far back I can find on the internet as 2019, people started talking about the Olympic Village anti-sex beds.
Right, because it used to be, here's the deal. Olympic athletes are horn dogs.
Yep.
They are just horned up, perfect physical specimens who have been locked in a room and only allowed to do one thing their entire lives.
Right. They compete on gendered teams. They're like 18 years old.
And they go to the Olympics and they all live in a place called Olympic Village, which are these dormitories for the athletes and the teams. And all they all meet each other for the first time and they all go, oh my God, we're all young and hot.
Yes. And all of these athletes, for the most part, don't get to go to traditional colleges because their career is like 24 hours a day. Like they don't get to just like go off and fucking go to college. So it's like college dorms, but way worse.
Yeah. They like to get down is what we're saying, to the point where like
there has been massive concerns.
They had to put like condom dispensers at specific Olympic games.
And there was huge backlash to that because people are like, why are you encouraging this? And they're like, we're not encouraging it. We can't stop it. We want to make sure that all these athletes aren't getting diseases.
Yeah. Hey.
Because athletes were getting diseases.
Hey, Captain Kirk, why are you letting these tribbles reproduce on your spaceship?
Right.
No, man, that's just,
I just can't control
they're doing
that.
it.
I can't control that.
I swear there was only one tribble here before.
But each Olympics, they try to get a little trickier with the ways that they prevent them, right?
Yes.
So let's take a look at this year's, for the Paris Olympics upcoming, anti-sex beds.
Okay. Now, the anti-sex beds, if you're wondering how they work, what they usually are is they will support the weight of a single person
and
sleeping comfortably.
Yes.
If you try to move around too much on these beds or there's too much weight on these beds, they used to just fall apart.
So they're cardboard. These beds are cardboard.
First of all, IKEA, get on this. Do you know what I mean? IKEA, get on this. Let's get the $20 flat pack cardboard bed.
Yeah.
Speaking as somebody who's single and broke and will continue to be single and broke for the foreseeable future. Let me get that $20 bed.
So the first thing they do is they make sure the beds are small, right?
Yeah.
So they are twin size. Nobody gets a bigger bed than twin size, okay?
Yeah.
They are not fitting 2 adults on it comfortably, okay?
If you're in basketball or certain track and field events, you get an extra long twin.
Yeah.
Like in a dorm room.
Right. These beds are manufactured by the same people who made the 2020 Olympic beds for Tokyo, which is air weave, because the beds are basically just made of air. And if you breathe on them too hard, they simply collapse. Now, they promote it by saying the mattresses and cardboard frames are 100% recyclable.
Okay.
So they say this is part of Paris's efforts to reduce its impact of the Olympics. Now we know
also
that the Olympics,
and also some other impact. You know what I mean?
Now we know that Olympics are actually incredibly detrimental to local economies and to like local infrastructure for
Los Angeles 2028.
Hate it. Don't want it. Please no. Please change their mind. I don't want it. Oh my God. It's gonna get so bad here. Rent's gonna get so expensive.
Yeah, everything's falling apart already.
So bad. But the cardboard does a little more than just be recycling friendly.
Yeah. I want to show, Saige, can we show this?
Yeah.
Babe, I swear I have a headboard. Babe, I do. I have a headboard.
Yeah, there it is.
She said she wouldn't come back to my place anymore until I had a real bed frame and a headboard. She said, get your life together.
It's made of cardboard. That's not what I meant.
No, but listen, babe, I made it. I'm like a carpenter.
No, carpentry is with wood.
Yeah, but
that's
like
cardboard.
This is me being eco-conscious and I technically did what you wanted. This is a headboard and a bed frame.
Well,
so why don't you stay over?
Is it 100% recyclable?
Pre-consumer.
All right.
All right.
All right. Listen. There's a bunch of people that have stories from things and how they still find a way at many Olympics. And we're not going to read any of those stories. There are some strong allegations of a hot tub orgy that we are not going to get into from the previous Olympics.
Listen, let the kids have a little hot tub orgy.
Well, don't phrase it like that. These are adults, and I do want to be clear about that.
When we say that, we mean
adults.
Yeah. The Olympic athletes are all of age. Let the of-age Olympic athletes...
Which isn't always true.
Let the Olympic athlete... But listen, what I'm saying is let the Olympic athletes who are of age, that's what I said, have their hot tub orgies.
Yeah.
Let them do it.
Yeah.
They've been training their whole lives.
Listen, we all know abstinence-only education has never been effective for protecting anybody, so...
If I have spent my entire life training to do one thing for the glory of my country and probably almost nothing else.
Yeah.
Let me have a little hot tub orgy. That's the least you can do. That's the least you can do. That man has to wear the hard hat because that bed could fall apart under his 93 pounds at any time.
Yeah, that's him showing you how safe these cardboard beds are.
What they do to test the beds is they have that guy. That's George McMurray. He's 73 years young this year. And he's a volunteer from a local village. And he and some of the other elderly population, as part of a community effort to keep them active, they go to the Olympic Village and they bounce up and down on the bed. It keeps them active. It gives them a little exercise. It lets them talk to the other olds. Now, we do have a problem in that when we're not watching them, they all sneak off to have sex.
Yeah, which is a common problem with old people.
Yeah, this is the issue. They keep sneaking off to the hot tub to have an orgy.
Did you say it lets him hang out with the other olds?
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Cool, I was just checking.
The olds get to hang out with the other olds.
Yeah.
And they bounce up and down on the bed.
Yeah.
And then they have their own hot tub orgies.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
The problem is no matter how we try to solve the hot tub orgy problem, we only seem to cause more hot tub orgies.
Yeah. It's interesting that we have the same problem with Olympic Village that we do with like retirement homes.
Yeah. It feels like people like to have sex.
Weird.
And we can't seem to stop that.
How interesting. Hard to believe. Anyways, I think that's where we ought to leave you for today. It's already 10:30, and that is all the show that we have time for. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. We appreciate it. We are going to go through and we're going to thank everyone that supported us live during the show, but I want to tell you all the other lovely ways that you can do so, okay? You can go to patreon.com/Pixel Circus. We are an independent network, and that keeps the lights on, literally.
Right.
We used to say it keeps the metaphorical lights on when we worked out of my apartment, and now it keeps the literal lights on. Patreon.com/Pixel Circus. You can do a 7-day free trial. You can sign up for $5 a month. You can sign up for a year and get a discount.
That's right.
It's great. It's cool. You get bonus clips. What did we talk about on Friday? Oh, we talked about the death of Chuck E. Cheese animatronics on Friday. It was a very fun video.
Yeah,
and you
it's a
should
good
check
video.
It out. We've had some bangers over on the Patreon lately.
Club bangers.
So you don't want to miss it. You can also just join the Discord. That's totally free. You can suggest stories. Today we pulled stories from Jelly PB and Flatlander. And that's really great. We want to talk about the things that you want to see us talk about.
That's
you
right.
can tell friends about the show for free. Mm-hmm. You can like this video for free and subscribe on YouTube. Even if you're watching on Twitch right now, you can also be subscribed on YouTube. It really helps us out. I wanted to remind you that next Saturday, which is May 25th, we are hosting our first ever all-day subathon.
Whoa.
This is, it's a subathon. It's going to be Patreon. It's going to be subscriptions, bits, tips, all of the above. All of the ways that you can financially support us because we have a bunch of cool content that we want to make and we'll be unlocking more and more content throughout the day. Basically, you guys give money and we tell you what that money goes to. There's going to be really cool goals. A bunch of friends of the circus are going to stop by. It's going to be a big party here. And we have never done something like this where it extends for amounts of money we raise. So we don't know how long it's going to be.
It could be forever.
Starting at 11 a.m. on Saturday, May 25th.
How many standing ovations long do you think it'll be? Will it be at least a horizon?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think so. I think we are starting at a minimum of 6 hours with a maximum of 13 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
It's going to be great. There's so much fun stuff planned. So we hope that we will see you there. Anthony, you coming to the marathon stream?
Yeah, I should be there.
Where else are you going to be?
I'm going to be everywhere on the internet at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine, give it back to me. And of course, on my award-winning science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata, it's called We Have Concerns. Go check that out at wehaveconcerns.com.
Just realized there's that slight echo on the close-up, so I'm not going to go back to those. Thank you very much. Hi, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel, typically Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays, but my stream schedule is a little messed up right now because I'm planning things for you. And yeah, I hope that we'll see you next Saturday. Before that, what's today? Today's Monday?
Yes.
Before that, we will see you here on Friday.
That's right.
For show, when Alex is back too.
Yeah, we'll see you on Friday, BBs.
Bye.
Bye.